Hello, I'm Rythian, and this is World of Warcraft, Warlords of Draenor. Welcome to the Everbloom. In here, there are a couple of achievements I'm going to go over in this video. We are starting off with Water Management, which is achievement that involves killing this guy with a bark real fast. So the way this achievement works is that you cannot let him get any of those floaty water orb things that actually hit him. So to start off, you want to tank him far away in the corner so that those orbs have farther to go. After a while, he will go into his grey phase thing, which is about to hit soonish, I think. There we go. Now, he will take twice damage here, so this is where you want to start popping on your cooldowns and killing them. Of course, if you have insane DPS, you can just go straight for him, but normally you will have to deal with the water orbs that's flying around in the room. These orbs can be snared and they can be stunned, but generally you just want to kill them really quick. He will start summoning more and more as you go. Also, you see these little pulsating vines on the ground. If a water orb flows over them, you will spawn a flower ad that also needs to be tanked and dealt with. The way we handled this was basically going 40 PS and one tank. Specifically, a monk tank is as usual amazing for this fight because the statue can pick up all the stray ads. The rest of us just went crazy and DPS'd him as much as we possibly could. Since you don't actually need a tank in this phase, we just had the monk tank do DPS and also help out with killing the orbs. That's pretty much it. High DPS, don't let the orbs hit him, and you're done. One of the easier ones, honestly. This one is they burn, which is against Archmage Sol, the fourth boss, if you count the spider, in the instance. This one isn't required for the meta achievement so that you can get your mount, but it's personal and honestly it's kind of fun to do. What happens is she will spawn these fire blooms on the ground. Ignore the spamming of my unupdated add-on. These fire blooms will be basically an expanding circle of fire. Now what you gotta do is jump over those fires 5 times in 5 seconds. So, you know, get your speed on and get your jumping on. It'll be pretty chaotic and it'll be something like this. Jump, boom. Chivo. Some classes have it easier than others. Obviously, the more movement speed and stuff you have, the easier it is. But it's personal. You can work on it every time you go. It's easier the more flowers you have up, because there's more circles. But that also means that there are more things that will kill you. So generally, you don't want to wait too long. Anyway, again, not required for the meta achievement, so don't worry too much about it. But still, 10 extra Retrieval points. Big shiny thing. Pretty nice. The last achievement in the Everbloom is called Weed Whacker. It is against Yalnu, this giant gore monster spine guy. I don't know what he is. He's some sort of monster. He has like the powers of nature at this command, of course, which is fitting with the theme. It is honestly one of the easier ones, and you might think the achievement is something else than it is. During the fight, he will do a whole bunch of different things. One of them is spawning a whole bunch of small plants on the ground. This thing, where you start running around and stomping on them all so that they don't spawn anything. That's not actually the achievement. I thought that was the achievement for quite a while, but no, it isn't. The achievement, all you have to do is make sure that none of the NPCs die. And they're not at a huge risk of dying unless you completely ignore the entanglement that happens on them. Every now and then, one of either the NPCs or one of the players will be entangled, like I am right now, just stunned. You just have to kill that thing, and you get free people, and you're done. That's it. It's one of the easier ones. Just kill the entanglement when you see them, and you're done. You get the achievements. Everbloom is a pretty cool instance, I think. I used to think it was one of the harder ones, but after a while you get the hang of things. It's not too bad. It's long, and it's got a fair bit of bosses, but it's not particularly hard. The Ancient Protectors can be a bit tough if you don't have like people that are good at dispelling enemy buffs and interrupting properly. But it's not too bad. I've actually enjoyed the dungeons quite a bit in Warlords of Draenor. This is one of my favorites, I think. Not the favorite. I think my favorite one is probably Grimrail, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. Either way, if you've sorted out all the entanglements, you just don't. Again, you don't even need to save player characters. You can let them sit if you want, as my team is doing to me here for no real reason. So long as you let the NPC survive, you're all good. I'd already, in fact, done the achievement before, which is why I didn't see it pop up. Anyway, that's the Everbloom done with. Let's go on to the Grimrail Depot. We're jumping straight into the Grimrail Depot with the first achievement, which is called This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. In this one, you need to defeat this duo of Railmaster Rocket Spark and Borka the Brute after destroying all of the priceless paraphernalia, which means these chests that are placed throughout the room. So what you need to do here is aim Borka the Brute at these 4 different priceless paraphernalia. We've marked them here on the map with our different marks. You can see roughly where they are. There's 4 different little chest things. You need to get him to crash into them. Now, of course, normally the mechanics in the fight is also that you want him to crash into about where the goblin stands, so he lands, so you can actually do some TPS with him. What we found was a good mix between crashing into them and crashing into the goblin was basically alternating. So you start with crashing him into one of the chests, and then you crash him into the goblin. Then you crash him into the chests, and then you crash him into the goblin. Not too bad. You just watch your DPS so that you don't end up killing them. You might need a little bit of extra healing because he will get to charge these rockets more than usual because you're letting him have an entire full charge rather than knocking him down immediately. You could, like we do, just go double healer for this. DPS is not something you really desperately need, but you might not, depending on the gear level and how confident your healer is.
Hey, dummy, how would you like it if I broke all your things?
What we did there actually was ended up crashing both in one because he was standing right next to one. If you're lucky, you can get that done, but sometimes that won't be the case. Otherwise, I'd say this is one of the easier ones. The thing you gotta keep in mind for achievements like this is that being flexible always helps. Sometimes you want to have 2 tanks, sometimes you want to have 2 healers, sometimes you want to make sure you respec for it. Specifically, there's an achievement coming up later, another Blackrock Spire, where being melee is bad. Very bad. All in all, though, this is one of the easier ones. So, let's skip ahead to the end, and boom, Chivo. Now the next one is definitely one of the harder ones. This one is called No Ticket. So what you need to do is to defeat Nitruk Thunder Tower after abruptly removing 20 enemies from the Grimrail. Now abruptly removing means knocking them off the train. So this means, as far as I know, you need people with knockbacks. That means elemental shamans, that means hunters with the explosive trap, that means druids with typhoon. I don't know if there are any more knockbacks I've forgotten, but if you play a class with knockback, you probably know. This actually is a bit interesting because, as far as I know, it's like that's one of the few achievements that are specifically class required. Like in this one, I'm pretty useless. I'm pretty much standing around off healing a little bit. What you need to do is, like we do here, you stack up all the ads, you get them in position, and you knock them off. You need to knock off 20 of them, and there's no easy way to track it, so you just kind of have to keep track on your own. Meanwhile, you have to stay alive, dodge the suppressive fire, or the rapid fire as he calls it when he's shouting. Basically, don't die to all the fire that's on the ground, and don't line aside your healer, etc, etc. We found this position was the best way. When we tried knocking them off the left side, it didn't seem to work. But this one, they definitely do get knocked off. So, stand there, heal, survive, don't run out of mana, knock them off just like that, keep count. Once you've hit about 20, you should be good to go. So once you reach that far, all you gotta do is burn him down. I would obviously play it safe, try to aim towards knocking off maybe 22, 24-ish, just so you're not risking anything. And then burst them down with everything you got. Hopefully, when you're done, ding, Chivo. That's it for today's video. This has been Everbloom and Grimrail. Next up, we're going to take a look at Upper Blackrock Spire, which of course includes the one, the only, Leroy Jenkins. I'll see you then.